All right. We are live. What is going on? Sorry, my throat just cracked a little bit there. We are live. Welcome back to the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Odum, and every Monday through Friday, we get together right here on YouTube and we live stream our process of trying to build ourselves a company that's going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. How is your week? How are you doing today? Hope everything is going well. It's Friday today, which means, of course, at our house here, it's Pizza Friday, which spend time, it's kind of like taking the late afternoon kind of off where I just don't do any work, make some pizza, spend some time with the family. So looking forward to that, as always. And so we're going to dive right into it. Today's going to be a little bit different than most videos, because as I said before, we're trying to build a company that's going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. And of course, that company is Pixel and Pixel Pieces. So here's Pixel Pieces, of course, which is our WEBFLOW component and template library. If you haven't joined yet, what are you waiting for? Because it's free to join. And we have over, I think I just published some more components. We have 125 components now on our in our platform, I guess. So super pumped about that. So looking forward to continuing to build that. So come on over and join. Let me know what you think. Kevin, how you doing? Welcome. Good to see you as always. Different Pizza Friday? Different as in like it's a different pizza? Well, I guess maybe different in terms of what we're going to be talking about on the live stream today. If that's kind of what you're going, kind of what you're getting at. So this is Pixel Pieces. So love for you to join. And of course we have Pixel, which is kind of our main site, which is where we're just getting this thing started up, and lots of stuff is going to be happening in the next couple weeks on this, which is going to be kind of our home where we're going to be teaching and educating people on how to become a web designer, or if they want to become a freelancer or whatever the case may be. So we're going to be teaching everything kind of, what I know about what I've learned over, 20 years doing this kind of stuff. So really looking forward to that, and hopefully everything will kind of combine and coalesce into this kind of really great resource and community place where people can kind of get together and talk about things that are of interest to them. So anyways, the whole thing about this whole teaching and education stuff too, and all the things that I'm doing, I think I put it in the notes here. There's 4 things that I need to do on like almost a consistent basis. And I need to design and organize this whole office space in a workspace and an environment that is really going to be conducive to me being able to just kind of get to work. Because one thing that I've noticed in my years of doing videos and podcasting and all that kind of stuff is the more obstacles and barriers that get into the way of you actually just sitting down and creating, the harder it is to actually kind of stick with it. So what I mean by that is if you're doing a podcast and you have to spend all this time kind of setting up the whole studio, whatever, you have to take it down, put it up, it can get pretty tiring, and it could get to the point where it's like, I just don't feel like doing it anymore, which is not a really good thing to do. Of course, if you really enjoy doing something, you want to make sure you can keep at it. But I just find the easier you can make your whole setup, the better it is to maintain that consistency. So I think in this office space that I have, we're going to bring it up here. I actually have the floor plan and the layout of my apartment building and everything. So we'll kind of just figure out design. We'll figure out the design and we'll figure out what we can do with this space. But there's 4 main things that I think this room needs to be able to do. So number 1, I have to be able to do this. I need to be able to live stream. So basically I just want to sit down, just hit like on button or whatever, and then I could do this live stream. So that's already kind of pretty much already figured out, but there's that. The second part of it is I need a desk and an office space that's very comfortable, that's very welcoming, that I can just sit down and get to work and just do the web design and just do the development, all the stuff that I do, that I build pretty much on a day-to-day basis, whether it's stuff for Pixel or stuff for my clients. I mean, I'm on the computer basically all day. So need to have a nice space for that. The third space is an area where I can just sit down, again, kind of like just for a live stream, I can sit down and press record and record the videos that I'm going to be doing for YouTube, which are going to be all the educational videos. So there's going to be kind of 2 types of videos. There's going to be just the videos that I'm going to go on YouTube, but also videos that I'm going to use as part of teaching my courses. But again, they're all going to be in the same spot. I don't think I want to make multiple different sets or locations or anything like that. Don't need to be crazy. Just need to have a nice place to sit down that looks nice in terms of a nice background or whatever. And then I could sit down and just record the videos. And then the 4th thing, and this one is a little bit, I'm not too sure because I feel like there might be too much stuff going on, both in my life and also within the company right now. But it's thinking about a podcast and having a place where people can either come in person, or if I want to do a remote podcast, just talking to other people that are web designers or business owners or whatever the case may be, and have a place where I can sit down, and record those videos. So that's a lot of stuff that this office needs to be able to do. So I'm just going to see what we can think of in terms of how to design this. And maybe we can go off and actually start purchasing some stuff and maybe buying some equipment that we need to, fill out our office. So, and I'm actually going to try, bring this up here. I also have this, I don't know if you remember me fiddling around with this tablet where it's giving me a lot of pain in Photoshop, but we'll see if this works now in Affinity Photo. So that'd be kind of like a little test as well too, to see if this thing works with this Wacom tablet. So that'd be kind of cool. Okay, so here's an actual look at the layout of my apartment building. Is this thing even on? I need to turn it on. Okay, so does this still work? Yeah, X. So let me go to, where do we, let's change the color. How does this work? And paintbrush. Yeah, there we go. And maybe make that. Okay, so do I have my tablet? Ooh, okay, it seems to be working. Oh, no, now it's freezing. Oh, okay, now it's coloring in white. We don't want that. I don't know if I need like some kind of palm rejection kind of thing. Okay, so here is the den. This is where I'm at right now. This is actually really, really small. So yeah, really large. Okay. So yeah, this is my apartment building, which is really nice. We really, really like it. It's 3 bedrooms and a den, and it's great because the kids can have their own bedroom. But yeah, this den here, this is me. This is where, this is being really finicky as well too. I don't know if it's because of the tablet itself or because of my pen. But now it's not, this is like, this is so annoying. Why can't I just get stuff that works? So this is me right here. And if you see right now, my desk basically kind of sits right here. And this is me right here. And my camera is here facing the back wall here. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And what I thought we can do, which would be nice, is I wonder if we can zoom in on this one, if this would be okay to do it here. So let's go back and erase that. Let's give me a new layer, actually. There we go. So this is what I was thinking to have here in this office. And I'd love to know what you guys think, because this is something that I'm definitely not like an interior designer or anything like that. So I don't know this very well, but how can I click on this thing? Let me bring the mouse in here. So I got to double click. So this is what I was thinking about how I can organize this office. So again, I think this isn't going to change. So this is where my desk is. Ooh. And then I have my camera here and my lights are kind of just hanging off the desk, and the desk is pushed pretty far back, almost to the edge of the wall. And then the camera's just kind of hanging up over top of the monitor right over here. So I think this is pretty good. So what this allows me to do is this gives me my good chair or my good desk here to sit down and both do work and then also to do the live stream. So I really like this. I would have loved to have multiple angles, but I don't think that that's going to make much sense here with the kind of room that I have. And so what I was thinking, so if you look back there, I'll even just maybe I'll just get out of the way here for a second. So you can kind of see that it's pretty messy back here. So don't mind the mess. But just over, like I have a table over here, which is what I'm going to be using, I'm thinking anyways, to do both the podcast and also to do the videos. And then I have a light over there that's kind of ready to go. And then there's just some decorations or whatever with my, with the bookcase there. And then of course my guitar and my piano. as well. I could even turn this light. I think we can even turn that on. Yeah, so that's just kind of the light over there, which will be used to film kind of the headshots, the talking head videos. So like right now on this, oh, how did this get really, what is going on here? So right now, I think I'm just gonna have to go back to the mouse. So right now, that's bad. So right now, that's also kind of bad. So right now the table is kind of sitting like this. And then I have another camera pointing this way. And then of course I could just take my chair, sit down right here. I can hit record and then I'm good to go. So I'll record kind of those talking head videos. So that's pretty nice. And I guess that the only thing that I would want to do is maybe do something on the wall here, just to decorate it. Maybe just hang some posters or some pictures or something like that. Nothing too crazy because I don't want anything to, I don't want to fill up the space too much. But maybe having like a, bring in some, like I do have a fake plant back there as well too. So maybe bring in a plant to kind of make it look nice. So that'll be the talking head video. But the way that it is right now, I have the desk pushed a little bit further away from the center of the room. But the other thing I was thinking about is if I move the table, or if I put a table, that's kind of neat. If I move the table to the center of the room, and then I'll be able to have two chairs right over here. And then I could easily set up a camera here. Really bad drawing here, a camera here, and for a 2-camera setup. And of course I have a camera over here as well too, which can get the wide shot. And then that can be set up for a podcast as well. And then the difference, of course, in this one is there will be a little bit of setup because I won't leave cameras just kind of hanging around in the middle of the room. So it would just be, putting them in place, plugging them in, making sure that they have power, and we'd be ready to go, ready to roll pretty quickly. And we just need to have a place to put the microphones. And maybe that's where, that's where I'm thinking maybe just have a smaller table over here. And then where I have the bookcases out back. Oh, geez, I'm sorry. I'm drawing stuff and you guys can't even see what I'm drawing. Sorry about that. Oh, geez. Of course I start doing that again. Here's the table in the middle of the den here. And then we have the camera 1, camera 2 pointing at the 2 different people, and then the third camera going over here. So I'm thinking we could have it set up like that. And then, so bringing a little table here, which again is all the way in the back of the room where the bookcase is. And then we can I have my little roadcaster device here connected to the audio for all the different microphones, right? So we'll have a microphone here. That looks kind of bad, but a microphone there for the guests. So that could be one way to go. And then when I'm not having, when there's no podcast that's going on, or I'm not filming a podcast, what I could do is I could then take the cameras. Well, I'll take one camera, move it here. This is kind of where its stationary home is going to be. And then I could still be sitting here and I can still record my talking head videos without having to move anything around, which is kind of, again, what I was saying at the beginning, just being able to get up and go and hit record. And just make things really, really easy, right? And then just move this chair off to the side or something like that. And then if we're going to have guests, there's two things that I'm thinking that could be really, really intriguing. Number one would be to set up like a big screen TV on the wall. So just against that wall over here on the side. And I could basically have the Zoom calls on there so I can really see them really, really big on screen. And then I can have the tripod with the camera hooked up on here. So, and then it's pointing in front of me. So when I'm doing a interview with somebody, they're on my big screen. The camera's kind of in front. So it's almost looking like when I'm looking at the screen, because I'm so far away, it'll look like I'm looking directly into the lens during the interview process. Or there could be other things I could do as well too, because I do have one of those, what is it called? Like a teleprompter as well too. So I could do that and just kind of bring it in closer. But I think what I was saying before is I do think that I would love to limit the podcast to being in person. And I think even for right now, as I start or to think about starting, is just interview local entrepreneurs so I can get known locally as like a local business person, right? So people start to know me locally and want to do business with me. I think that's a really good way to go to get that kind of word of mouth for people that other people want to work with locally, right? So I think, I could think about having this TV here, but really I think having something set up so that I can have so I can interview people in person, I think is the best way to go. So if that being said, if I have this table right over here, what else would look nice for a podcast setup? Right. So if I have some, I don't even know how to draw like a plant. How do I draw? I have like my fake plant over here, and maybe have another plant over here, which just adds a little bit of green, a little bit of color. Because again, there's no windows here. Like if you zoom out here, so like this is the apartment here. This is the hallway. So you enter in here. So here's the balcony. Here's where, and then here's just outside. We have lake and forest here, which is actually really, really nice. But we have window here, the whole balcony, window, like patio doors, window, and that's it. So I'm in this den here that's just all by myself. No like lighting or whatever. So like no lighting, no natural light that's coming in. So, but if we had some decorations on here, some fake plants, maybe something on the background. I guess we can decorate the walls with something, which will give a kind of a neat background. And then I'm wondering too if it makes sense to have a TV that's on the far side here on this wall, where if there's anything that we're talking about on the podcast, we can bring something up on the TV and say, hey, just look at it here on this TV. And then that's like, there'll be a console here, which will have all the, electronics or whatever. I feel like that would be something that would be really, really cool and just be like a really nice kind of inviting space. The other aspect that could be really nice, but this doesn't really bode well for me to record talking head videos, but instead of having a table, have like 2 comfortable chairs that we can be sitting across from each other. And then if there's a TV up here, I could always swing the chairs the other way and then start playing video games and use it as like a video game room. But I don't think that'll fly very much. But yeah, and then the big thing as well too is lights. So I did buy a couple lights that I don't know when they're going to be delivered because they're going to take a while. Let me see if I can actually see if they're on here. So aperture. What light was it? I think it was like F21. Yes. So I bought 2 of these lights, and I do believe, I bought the RGB versions. Order now for earliest possible delivery. So I don't know when they're going to be delivered. I got to talk to them. But they were on sale when I bought them, so they weren't this price, but they're not the cheapest lights. But what I like about them is, number one, they're RGB, so we can have them for lots of different things for the future, because I love doing, just for fun, I just love doing filmmaking. But they're super, super light lights, which is what I really loved. And then the controller and everything is not actually hooked up to the light itself. So what I'm going to do, or what I'm thinking of doing, is so this is going to get super, super messy here, but maybe let me try a different color here. Blue for lights. So I'm thinking of taking up a pole, and basically clamping it across the ceiling and then hanging the lights. Well, actually, I should draw it more like a light. Uh, So hanging the light bulbs on the light bulbs, the lights, just the lights sources on the ceiling. So I get everything. I don't have any tripods or anything on the floor to like light stands or anything. And then that shines the light. You know, this light will shine on this guest. This light will shine on this one. Or we might, yeah, they're going to be kind of just basically where the camera is as well too. We might want to change the angles a little bit. Anyways, whatever. We'll figure out how to light it. But then we'll have our 2 lights, which will light up the whole scene. Maybe even, do we even want 3 lights? No, I think just 2 lights. And then again, these lights are going to be repurposed for when I'm actually shooting the talking head video as well too. So, and then they could be fixed in a stationary position. So again, I could just come in down, sit down. I could hit this button just like this, turn the light on, and you know, turn another button to hit record on the videos, and then we're just ready to go. So I'm really liking that idea. So the question I have too is, because I've been thinking about this before, so it's not like the first time I've been thinking about this, but I figured it might be interesting. If anybody wants to see the process of what I'm thinking about just online, they could just kind of listen to me talk through this. I'm also not one of those guys too where I'm not going to do a crazy like 3D rendering or whatever. Like I don't have time for any of that stuff. I'm just going to buy what I think is makes the most sense. But this is where it sucks being in Canada, because I think I'd want to get this auto pole here, because this is what you can use to like put up against the ceiling and hang things off of. And I think our lights are going to be, yeah, so just like this, to hang this across the ceiling. The lights are going to be light enough. Like, how heavy are these things? Specs. Let me see the specs. It doesn't say. Of course not. Oh, maybe click on specs. They'll show nothing. Let's see. These guys might have a better yeah, this is $600 American. Whew. Specs. Doesn't say anything about the weight. At least I can't see. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so the fixture is 1 pound. So, and then plus whatever it's going to be for the box and everything, like the soft box. So yeah, super, super light. So super happy about that. What are these reviews? I think great light, no noise. Yeah, that was the big thing. But mounting bracket are totally junk. Yeah, well, that's how it's going to be. Yep, no, that's fine. I'm definitely fine with this. I read about that. Yeah. I mean, what are you expecting? Because, I mean, that's the whole... Anyways. Right. So if we have this auto pole, and we can do that, we can put it up against the wall. Can I see images? Reviews. Right. And then we can hang the lights from this auto pole. So I'm really liking that idea. So I had the Manfrotto one, but I have to return it because it's more expensive and not as solid as this. This one came with a package. Studio Rat, no more tripping. Yeah, this is perfect. So, I mean, it looks really, really good. This one even has... I don't even know how heavier these lights are. These are floor concrete. Yeah, some heavy lights. Oh, yeah. And yeah, and we just have to make sure we go through, I guess, maybe through the studs on the side. Oh, what's this? Not reliable? Kept sliding off the ceiling. Not reliable at all. Wow. Yeah, that's where, I mean, they got lots of 5-star reviews. Does it say how much weight can go on this? This is not too heavy. What is the weight? Does it have some specs? Package weight. Maximum load, 25 kilograms. And that's probably if it's vertical, up and down, right? If you're doing it horizontal, I think it's going to be a lot different than that. Because one thing we definitely don't want is for anything to fall down. But that being said, we could use 2 poles as well too, one on each side of the room, and put that in, and put that on, right, where we have like 1 pole here and then 1 pole here. No, but I don't want that. I don't want any of that stuff to even get in the shots or whatever. So yeah, I think in the sky on the ceiling is going to be the best bet. So how much would this cost for me to ship this to Canada? That's always an issue because this is from America. Let's say, let's add to cart. Duties and taxes. I think does it know I'm in Canada? Yeah, it does right here. Okay. Duties and taxes. Shipping starting from. So what if we just say we just prepay? And then if we begin checkout, do I have a pass? I thought for sure I had an account here. Let's just say if we're going to check out as a guest. Okay, well, let's see. This is $246 American. What is that in Canadian? That's what I need to know. USD to Canadian. So it's 337 Canadian dollars for 2 of those lights, or 2 of those poles. And the only other option I think that we have it here for an auto pole, although this is pre-order, so it's not in stock. So this is $270, but it's just for 1. But then the question is, do I need 1 or do I need 2? What did I say? 337. It's almost, we're talking an extra $67 to get 2 of them. But I think what would be really good is if I did have a second one, I could use it to put another one above my desk here, and then I could have a camera pointing down so I can get those top-down views on the desk, which is something that I've always, like, I love having that view. And then again, it keeps anything off the floor because having like C-stands and all that stuff is just, it takes up way too much space. So yeah, I think I'll do that. I think I'll start off by getting. Well, the first thing I think I need to do is organize this whole office space and this whole area and have a nice setup for recording these talking head videos, because that's the first thing I'm going to do. And then, because podcasting is probably not going to start not till probably September if I do start. well, not if, when I do start, because I really do want to do it, and I think it's going to do really, really well. So if anything, just do really well for me, getting out of my comfort zone and reaching out to a lot of people from within the community. So that's going to be really, really good. But yeah, just setting up this office space in a way that's going to look really, really good. Right, okay, so I'm going to start a quick Word document here. Let me zoom in a bit. Okay, so new office space setup. Okay, right, my font is gone. Gonna have to find a good font. Sorry, my fonts are gone because I got rid of the Adobe Creative Suite, right? So we don't have anything. Okay. Okay. Steps to take. So we'll say our first step, of course, just make this a little bit bigger, maybe. Where's Nexa? Black. Okay. So the first step is I just need to confirm the layout and position of recording table. And then we need to set up camera for, I'll say for video recording. Set up camera and audio gear location. Yeah, what else do I need to do? So we need to have the location and the layout, I should say. And then once we have the layout, we know where we'll set up the gear. Because this has to be, I'm going to set up this weekend because I need to start recording videos, these other videos ASAP, because I got a lot of stuff that's written and ready to go. And we need to start getting some content out there. So we're going to confirm the layout. We're going to set up the camera and audio gear. And I think I just need to do some decorations. Decorate the office and backgrounds for both Talking Head and podcast. And then consider TV for back wall. And then consider furniture for like a console for podcast gear. And then once everything is said and done, we'll say the auto pole lights for podcast recording. So I think that's it. So I think with all of this, that's going to give me what I need to be able to have. Oh, what happened to the font? Oh, that's going to allow me to have everything that I need to be able to sit down and very quickly record the things that I want to record quickly, right? Very efficient working space and working environment. The only thing that's going to have to change is whenever I'm going from recording a talking head video, basically kind of like this, but of course on the table, and then switching to a podcast, because that's going to have this camera switching from this talking head position to switching to over here, recording one of the guests, and then setting up the secondary camera over here. Again, have the lights already set up, hanging off the ceiling. And if I can position the lights in a way that I can use the same lights for when I record this video, I don't have to change the positioning or what have you, which I think would be good, because if there's a chair here and the table is not moving, this light is already going to be shining perfectly on a nice kind of whatever, slightly 45-degree angle, whatever, on the person sitting at the table. So we can just go with that. And then maybe we have like some ambient practical lights somewhere in the background. So we need to think about that. So maybe I can put, for something like this, we'll put like plants, some art, and practical lights. And the plants, of course, are going to have to be fake plants, unfortunately, but there's no light in the studio at all, so I can't get any real plants, otherwise they'll die pretty quickly. For whatever reason, plants think that they need to have light. Okay, so what am I going to need for gear? That's a whole nother question. I wonder, well, let's put some stuff in here that I'll need. Not need, maybe even want to, because some stuff I know I already have, but okay, so gear that I'll need. So I have two cameras, but so I have this camera here. This is a Sony A7C, and I have a Sony A7 IV as well, and those will be the two cameras that I use. And I also have this one here, the A6300. So, but the problem that I have, if I'm thinking about having things ease of setup, I don't ever want to have to tear down this camera all the time. So I use this camera every day, at least Monday to Friday. I use it for the live stream. So to have to take it down and put it back up whenever I need to do a podcast, which again, maybe won't be that often, it's not ideal. But getting another camera, that's also really expensive. Like getting a camera and a lens, like for this setup, we're talking like $3,000, $3,500, right? So I don't know if that's something that I want to spend the money on right now, especially since I already have 3 cameras kind of ready to go. So I'm going to put it here, like unless, things start to go really, really, really well, then, we're gonna save it for later, basically. So we're gonna put like dedicated second podcast camera. So this is a really nice to have. And the second would be a dedicated Rodecaster Pro. So Rodecaster Pro. So I have the one that I use right here, right now, and which I've used to talk to you guys. But actually, I do have another device too. So I think I could bring in the Rodecaster to have it stay over there, and then I could bring in another audio interface, which I can use to do this live stream as well too. So lots of different things that I can do there. But if I had a smaller one, I think that would be really, really nice. But we'll see. But we'll just call this a nice to have. So we'll definitely need 2 microphones. So that's a must, obviously. And then 2 microphone stands. Definitely going to need that as well. Or stands or boom arms. And the lights are on order, so that's coming. So we'll just say LED key lights. And we also need auto poles to hang the lights on. And then I guess everything else is just like the decoration stuff. Before we even get that, we definitely need to have just some console to keep like the audio interface on. Yeah. Yeah. And then things that are also nice to have, again, TV. That'll be like a nice to have if I want to have a TV that's connected to my to like a laptop or whatever. So we're doing the podcast and we're talking, and it's like, hey, have you seen this? Blah blah blah, and just bring it up or what have you. If that's the case too, then we'll need to have a way to bring in that feed so that we can record it at the same time. So that when I'm in post production, if I'm doing the video for the podcast, that I can bring up the actual video on the the video on the TV on the video of the podcast, if that makes any sense. Right. So that's pretty much it. I think I definitely don't even need to buy this stuff because I could go with everything that I do have, except I might need some microphones. No, I do even have a couple Rode podcast mics. But I might get a couple of these Shure SM7Bs because they're really nice microphones. I love these microphones. They just sound so smooth. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is definitely this weekend, there's going to be lots of setup for this. So I'm going to get everything set up and start ordering some gear and start putting things together. And if you're ever interested in seeing like everything that I buy, maybe once everything's set up, I'll do like a nice office tour. Because I think, Rolando, I think you were asking me about that at one point. I always said, yes, it's something I need to do. It's something I definitely do want to do, but I haven't gotten around to it because probably for one big reason is because I don't have the office set up yet to kind of the way that I want it to be for a while. So once that's done, I don't know exactly when that's going to be because I don't know when all my lights and all of the other stuff I'm going to order is going to be in and when everything's going to be good to go. But as soon as I can, I'll maybe do an office tour and then everyone can see what's going on. And maybe even obviously during the live stream as well too, I can always point to different things too and maybe have some more lights or whatever to showcase. Yeah. So I like it. Okay. So that's a plan. I think we're good. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to look nice. I'm really excited. I'm really pumped because again, it's been a while. This is stream number 356. I've done a lot of these live streams now, but I feel like I'm just starting to come into my own in terms of even being, comfortable on this live stream and figuring out what it is that I want to do and how I want to move forward. And I haven't done much in terms of trying to innovate in terms of making the stream better or add some different bells and whistles, I guess, to it, like in terms of OBS and whatever. So I think taking the time to kind of figure that stuff out is going to be kind of nice. But again, it's not going to be that much time because I'm really focused on building the actual business, right? Because that's, first and foremost, that's goal number one. But in order to do that, I want to have a really, really solid working environment that I can just wake up in the morning, come in and just get to work and not have any distractions or anything that feels like, oh, the place is messy or dirty or whatever. I mean, everything's messy and dirty right now, but to have a place that's just really welcoming and inviting, not only for me, but also for guests once I do start to bring people in here to do a podcast, which I'm really looking forward to. Anyways, that is it for me today. I'm going to end it there and get to work on trying to figure out what I need to buy just so I can just start purchasing things and just having them delivered so I can just start setting everything up as soon as humanly possible. Okay, so it's Friday. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I'm going to go make some pizza. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day and, of course, a great weekend. Wishing you all the best and, keep plugging away at whatever business it is that you're working on. And, of course, we'll see you together on the other side of $1 million. Looking forward to it. All right, guys, take care, and we'll see you on Monday.